Hey,
Yay!
going on?
That is such a great intro, you guys. I love it.
Yeah. Big shout out to Nine Finger. They're an amazing band out in LA. Yeah, we saw them live recently. Actually, got to go on stage and rock with them and do the Comics and Crypto theme song. It was awesome. Big shout out to them. Yeah, and, and our good friend Josh. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Well, just to give a quick intro here. So today we are joined by Rob Shields. Rob Shields is a comic creator, animator, mixed reality developer. He's worked with some major clients like Sony, Puma, Pizza Hut, Atari, heavy metal, crazy clients. But today we have him here to discuss his upcoming project, End of the World Pizza, which is a really cool AR-enabled comic book that we're going to dive into today. So, Rob, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. And before we dive into the questions, I just want everyone out there to know we have some awesome giveaways going on right now. We partner with CGC, and we're actually giving away $150 in credit to 2 people. So each will receive $150 in credit towards grading. And that could be comic books, VHS tapes. It could be anything in the CGC system. So it's pinned to our Twitter account. So make sure to get involved in that. And also, we just launched this morning. We're giving away an exclusive rare cover A of the first VV Marvel comic. This was released at New York Comic Con, and it's signed by the CEO and co-founder of VV, David Yu. So we're going to be giving that away to a lucky winner. And this is open worldwide. All of our physical giveaways are open worldwide, guys. So definitely make sure to get involved.
Yeah, awesome.
Very cool.
So before we dive into everything, I'd love to get your background as a collector. Do you collect anything yourself?
Yeah, so I do have some of a comic collection, but my main thing, as I've gotten older, is I collect retro video games.
Cool.
So I grew up playing the NES, and I used to go, like, when I go to a thrift store, that's what I look for. I look for comic books. I look for some regular books, but I'm also looking for video games. So yeah, it's hard to find these days, but I mean, I don't go as much anymore as I used to, but yeah, that's my like childhood right there is old school video games.
It's wild the prices these are going for.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
The VHS, sealed VHS, have you seen that with Pete Davidson on the Late Show being I bought 5,000 VHS?
Yeah, you probably see a few of them behind Sean there.
You have some. Nice.
Yeah, we have, and over here we have a couple bookcases full of VHS. We've been going hard in this market for the past year.
Yeah.
I got a first print of Ghostbusters last year.
Nice.
Cool.
It wasn't sealed, but it was like it had the embossed. It's like the embossed ghost on the cover, and it's like this weird like format where it almost has like an album fold out. So I was like, "That's cool. I'm buying that." Even though it seems like ridiculous, I'm like, "Why would you want that?" It's like, "I know I want that."
Yeah.
The 1984
awesome.
release.
That's amazing. Yeah, things like that. I mean, even unsealed, I think they're gonna do very well. You know, because we see that in the video game market. Even CIB or complete in box, those sell for a lot of money in high grades. Yep. It's pretty impressive. It's impressive.
Yeah, we're also very excited about signatures on VHS as well. We were at New York Comic Con this past weekend, and we brought some first print Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle VHS tapes with us, and we got them signed by Kevin Eastman, which was awesome. So,
and then a couple weeks before that, we're at Salt Lake City Fan Expo. We met the cast of Back to the Future, and we had some really cool VHS tapes signed. And we're actually going to put one up on auction soon in Heritage.
Awesome.
So I'm really excited
for
that.
That should be good, man.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'd love to also get your background as an artist and how that led you into Web3.
So I started doing art as getting into like the advertising world and working with some of those bigger clients. And then my first big client that I worked with was Sony. And like, it was a cool job, but it didn't, like the creativity wasn't really there for me. Like I felt like I didn't really have any creative control over what I was doing. I was basically just like a machine to like create what they wanted. And so I was like, I don't really want to do that like as my main forever thing. So I kind of pushed then into like concept art, and I actually got hired by a small game company here in Philadelphia that was doing war games on the iPad. And so to just do some like marketing art for them, but also in-game art and some concept art. And they actually taught me to program while I was there. So that was sort of how I got really into programming. And like I said, I'm like a huge video game person. So my goal was like, I want to make video games, which is really hard to do as a single person. But yeah, so like that's where that kind of started. And then they eventually went away, and I continued to do freelancing. I actually taught at some universities in Philadelphia. I taught at like UArts. And I was doing like game design stuff, teaching concept art and game design. And then like the Web3 stuff hit, and my first exposure to it was somebody stole my art and they put it
Oh,
on a
really?
Yeah.
That's
No.
awesome.
But that was in November of 2020 before like the whole thing blew up. And I was like, all right. I was like, I think like somebody contacted me and they were like, did you know that this was happening? And I was like, no. And I was like, I don't want that. So take it down. And they did.
Yeah.
And then they were like, are you into crypto? And I was like, I do believe in it. Like, cause I remember going out to Comic-Cons even in like 18 and 19 and being like, talking to people and being like, yeah, crypto is the future. And they're like, no, it's a fad. And I was like, you don't understand the technology. Like it's such an attractive technology. And like, has such a good quality of life improvement that like, how do you not want to have that technology? So yeah, but people didn't get it. Cause obviously like, even then there was like a lot of weirdness around it. But so yeah, as soon as it like became big and started to go into the art with NFTs, I was like, this is the moment of like where I believe in the technology. I really love that digital art is finally getting valued at like a higher value. Like it was obviously like somewhat overvalued for certain things, but I was really happy to see like, oh wow, we can take the digital world and we can make it unique, and like that it's like proof of like this was the first one. Whereas before you never had that. It was like copy paste, you know? And that was hard to explain that to people too, because they were just like, can't you just copy paste it? And it's
People
like,
still think that.
Yeah,
people
my
still
analogy
think
was
that.
like you can take a picture of the Mona Lisa, or you can sell the Mona Lisa as a print, but it still doesn't make the actual Mona Lisa less valuable. I mean, maybe it slightly does, but not to the extent that people would think it could. So yeah, it's like I believed in all that, and I was very hyped when I saw like how much attention it was getting. And I actually got to work with Ron English on
Oh, you
on
did?
Nifty
Nice.
Gateway.
Oh, that's amazing.
Cool. Yeah, we're big fans of
He's
Ron English.
great.
Yeah, I actually got to hang with
Yeah.
them this past weekend, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he has this series called Serial Killers, which is the old
Oh, yeah.
mascots.
Yeah.
So I got to animate
Totally.
Tony the Tiger and Toucan Sam and the Trix Rabbit. And they're
Oh,
all cracked out.
did
So
you-
they're all addicted
Nice.
to the cereal and stuff. So that
Yeah.
was really fun. And I remember talking to him and I'm like, how do you get away with doing these parodies on these companies without them suing you? And he's like, the trick is if you really make fun of them, they don't want to take you to court, because then it brings attention to the fact that this is like a parody of what they're doing and it makes their image look worse. And I was like, man, I never thought of it that way. Yeah. And he's like, we also have good lawyers. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Cause I had this whole series of like, of logos that I was doing that was like Bankrupt America for Bank of America and like all these different things. And I was putting them on my characters. So I was asking him, I was like, is this cool? And he's like, yeah, as long as the more it hits them, the less likely they are to come after you for it. So that was really cool to be able to do those with him and like just make them like super inappropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite series by him. Yeah, a big part of our community is the VV community, and and he's hugely involved with VV, and has gotten involved with like a lot of like, the in-person events as well. Yeah, he's very like present within the community, which is very cool. So yeah, we've had some cool exposure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Big shout out to Ronnie. What's up, bud? Thanks for joining.
What's up, Ronnie Leto? Nice. But yeah, so I guess like outside of like this Ron English project and that Sony project you mentioned, you've gotten to work with some pretty incredible clients. I was wondering if you had any stories from working with those clients, or like any highlights, anything you really enjoyed or wanted to talk about from what you did with them.
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me, and it's Web3, was I got to team up with Pizza Hut, and we got to give away free pizza for a year to some of our community members. We actually did a thing with Complex Land, which is like a Comic-Con, but in the metaverse. Yeah. And so I got to give away some of my characters, the undead drivers, who are like the main characters in the story of the comic book, and some rides, because they deliver pizza, so they're driving around. And we got to give away the free pizza. And then the cool thing was I got to do a augmented reality pizza box. So and the app still works for this, it just doesn't, you can't win the prize anymore. But when you look at like the classic design of the pizza box, it actually like opens up and a city comes out. And then there's like little Easter eggs. If you find the Easter eggs, it would give you a code that you could bring back to our Discord, and then that entered you to win free pizza for a year. And we got to give that away. That was in 2022. Wow. So that was amazing to be able to do that, and like to be able to take something from crypto and like make it into like food that you like. It's literally like you share that with your family. And so it's not just like a crypto project about pizza. It's actually like giving people real pizza. That was just really awesome. And that was through one of our community members, JR Token. He like set that up because he had worked with them. So it was like, it came out of the community and it was given back to the community. And it was just like such a huge thing. So that was really awesome to do that.
That's so cool. Yeah, I feel like whenever I see a lot of these like physical activations that involve crypto or NFTs, I feel like a lot of times that's where like for some people that's kind of like the light bulb moment, and they start to actually understand where this can go because they're actually seeing how you can interact with the physical world with it. I think a lot of people get hung up on oh, it's only digital. Why would I want to just like only do things in the digital space? Which I think is partially why it's so important. Some of the stuff that you're doing with mixed reality and augmented reality, to blend the two. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like bridging the gap for us analog generation. It's like I feel like they say like the new generation of kids, like maybe not even Gen Z, but like the next generation, they're just going to be so used to just owning digital stuff that it's going to be like so natural. I mean, we've had that for a long time with video games. There's been like stuff you own digitally, and then now it's going to be like you can take it out of the video game and bring it with you somewhere else and like sell it to people somewhere else, or like you just always have it. It's just like our game collections or our or rent it. It's like the collections we have now, that VHS collections, comic book collections. It's like you just take that with you wherever you go, and you could sell it to somebody if you want. You can hold on to it. You can share it with somebody. But now it's just going to be digital. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah. I mean, just on that vein, I have comic books that I want to sell, but they were like at my mom's house back like outside Philly. So like I had to travel. I live, outside of Denver now. So I had to travel across the country to go get my comic books physically in order to be able to now list them for sale. Yeah, which is it's so much easier just to go on an app and do it.
Yeah, plus so many of our moms threw away our stuff, like our toys or our stuff, and now it's like you can't. Yeah. I mean, maybe they could throw away your digital stuff. They can just empty your wallet, but like it's like, are they going to do that? Probably not, because it was like back in the day, it was like just taking up space, and your parents were like, "What is this crap? Like, it's just junk. Like, we're going to throw this out." Yep. And as a kid, you're like, "Whatever. I'm too mature for that now. I don't need that." And it's like, why did I agree to that? That was so stupid. It's like if your parents asked you, they may have just thrown it away while you were away at school or something.
I've heard too many stories about people who their parents have just tossed away all their Pokemon cards or gave it away to a family friend, and it's just they don't know any different. They have no idea this stuff is valuable. But it hurts my heart a little bit when I hear stories like that.
Yeah.
So I'd love to get into the comic book, End of the World Pizza. Could you give us kind of an overview of the book, and you're touting it as the most advanced AR comic on the planet. It's a pretty big statement. I would love to hear why you think that's the case.
Well, mostly it's because I've seen all the AR comics basically that have been released so far, so that's like my litmus test. And so this is my third AR comic. So my first one was Neon Wasteland, and then I have another one that's unreleased, but it's finished. And then this is the third one. And so the idea is it's a physical comic book that works with an AR app that I created, and you can download that for free. And it animates the book cover to cover. It has a reactive soundtrack, so the songs change as the pages do, and the sound effects change depending on like what panel you're looking at.
Oh, cool.
The idea of the story is that there's a detective who's searching for a serial killer inside of an artificial reality where AI has stolen everyone's face, so everybody's a skeleton, and you can't really tell who's who. And then the meta twist is that the reader is actually playing the role of the detective. So the app turns your phone into a scanner that lets you scan the panels, and you can like dox characters. You can investigate the crime scene and collect evidence. You can find like all these hidden Easter eggs that can kind of tell you like what's happening or what's going to happen. And then you can actually vote at certain key elements in the story, and the app will send me that information, and whichever are the most popular choices will become canon in the next issues. So that's like, I consider it a on rails choose your own adventure, which means that you get to have some influence over the story, but you can never derail it. And you can never get to that point where it's like, you died, now go back and do it again, where it's like pretending it's giving you choice, but then it like just takes it away from you again. I really don't like that from that method. So these choices, you're going to make the choice and then just carry on. And then you'll see eventually it's going to affect the story. And what I want to really do is, there's like two types of characters in this story. There's the people that, like, all these people are dead and they're living inside of this metaverse. It's like the Grid and Tron, right? So they're not connected to bodies anymore. They're just code. And there's some of them that like remember what it was to be human, and those are the ones that worship the pizza because they think of it as like this reminder of what it meant to like have a body and have to eat, and like how pizza is something that we can all get around, and like it's like family and community, and you can like, you just used to get together and it was good when you had pizza. So they're kind of like still nostalgic for the humanity. And then there's this other side that are more demonic, and they're more like just fully nihilistic and like they just want to like see everything burn. And so the idea is that the reader, as they interact with it, they can decide which way we want to lean into it. Like the world is going to end. It just depends on like how you want to react to it. So do you side with the ones that are more like human or the ones that are more demonic? So that's kind of how it can incorporate the Web3 community. And then on top of that, there's built-in mini games. There's the shooting gallery, which you guys saw in that demo. So it uses your phone's tilt. So it's like an accelerometer gyroscope. So you can aim and shoot. And then there's a mini boss that's a shmup battle, which is hidden in an arcade. If you can find the arcade, you can play that game. And then the final boss is not hidden. It's pretty much everybody can get to it. And that's like a 2D hack and slash platformer that kind of is like a Contra inspiration. So yeah, all that stuff together makes it what I consider the most advanced comic. There's like 4 hidden covers, there's 6 hidden pages, and there's 40 achievements you can unlock.
This is not just like this is what I love about like Web3. It's like, and even just like digital art in general. It's like this is not just a comic book. This is like a full-on immersive experience. Like you can't get something like this just from buying a comic book at the local comic store. That's incredible, man. And there's the trailer was just also so well done.
Cool. So
thanks, guys. And there's also, we're doing a metaverse. I'm launching a metaverse with Spatial. So the comic is actually built using a game engine, the Unity game engine. And this was, I've been using this for years. So this is like pre them announcing that they're trying to be mean to everybody. But so I don't know that I'm going to continue.
That's the whole thing.
I don't know if I'm going to continue to push the Unity rabbit hole, but that's how I run the app right now. And a lot of it is built in Unity. So like some of the assets that you see building in the comic, actually, I have built some prototypes, like 3D, full on 3D, like over the shoulder, 3rd-person shooter game that I demoed like back in the day on my Twitter. So it's like it's ready to like push into that arena. And the Spatial metaverse that's coming out on Friday with the launch of the book is also another part of that. So that is another way that you can like dive into the world and start to like explore more things. I'm going to be hiding stuff in there in the future, and there's eventually going to be like token gated aspects to that, where if you own the comic, it'll give you more metaverse experiences. But eventually I would love to push into like Unreal 5 and Fortnite and things like that. When I did the Pizza Hut thing, the people saw the graphics and they thought it was a Fortnite skin that we were giving away. So I was like, oh, okay, people are ready for this to be in Fortnite.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. This is actually a good idea from Ronnie Lido. You can get some puzzle streamers to show it off. And I don't personally know Chris Ramsey, but might be a good person to hit up.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what are puzzle streamers. People that just solve puzzles and stream it.
Yeah, Ronnie Lido. If you got any more insight for us about puzzle streamers, not super familiar, but it'd be great for us to know. And also, what's up, Eric? And what's up, Evolve Collects? What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining us.
And Ronnie actually had a question as well.
Oh, we're pull it up, Sean. I missed it.
Does the comic end up guiding you towards a predetermined end of the story?
So, yeah, there's going to be a single ending, but whether or not, like, I don't like the idea of multiple endings just because it's like a non-ending. Like those are fine for video games, I think, and maybe even like visual novels. But I think for like a comic book, the traditional experience is that it has a beginning, middle, and an end, and it has a satisfying story arc. So it will have a predetermined end, but it won't be predetermined until the community determines it. So like people are going to choose what the ending is going to be. Like they're going to choose which way we go. Do we go good or evil? And then it's going to be like that. Once they choose, like the first people that read it are going to choose that. And once that's chosen, anybody else who comes to it later is going to get that ending. Cool. And it's done in a way where it's like, I can do it where it's still going to be satisfying. It just gives people some wiggle room. So that's why I say it's on rails. It's like, you're never going to be able to derail the ride. It's going to go to where it's going, but you can kind of influence the direction that we take along the way.
That's cool. And it's different journeys, and that's really what it's about, right? It's different journeys until you get to the ending. Yeah. That's awesome.
Nice. So it looks like Chris Ramsey or Ramsday, biggest YouTuber for puzzles and magician stuff.
Okay.
So could be a cool person to hit up just to see if there's ways you can collaborate. So thanks Ronnie for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And then I want to ask, so when somebody, I guess, kind of just how do we get our hands on it? Like, what does the minting process look like? Is there a physical edition involved as well? Like how does that all shake down?
Yeah, so the only thing that's for sale is the physical edition. You can get the details at endoftheworldpizza.com, but essentially it's dropping on OpenSea on Friday. It's starting at 12 p.m. Eastern time, which is 3 p.m. LA time and 5 p.m. UK time, I think, if I got that right. And so, yeah, you can just go, you mint it. You can mint it with crypto or you can mint it with credit card. OpenSea actually lets you use credit card now. And then we're going to have a shop at endoftheworldpizza.com. And the only way that you can check out the comic book is if you have the NFT in your wallet. So you need just a MetaMask to hold it. And then you log in with MetaMask and it'll give you a discount on the price of the comic. So it's $0. And then you just have to pay for shipping. And then again, that's the only way you get the physical book is if you're a holder of the NFT. So if you don't hold the NFT, you're never going to get this version of the book. And there's two versions. There's the standard cover and then there's the gold foil cover. And it's basically just like a random pull. So you have like a 15% chance to pull the gold cover, which is rare. There's only 100 of the gold and there's 566 of the regular. So it's 666.
Nice.
Total.
I love that. Yeah. That fits into the demons.
Yep.
Nice. That's super limited. That's great. And then what is the mint price?
It's 0.0375 ETH.
Okay. What does that shake down about to USD right now?
I want to say it's like 60.
Okay, nice.
I haven't looked at the thing recently, but yeah, something like that.
Nice. Yeah, that seems super reasonable for everything you're offering with this. I feel like there have been so many other NFTs that I've spent way more on that I've gotten way less out of. So.
Yeah, I want it to be a good value, and like I want it to be like it's not like because I think about it too, like a comic book, and like people will never pay $60 for a physical comic book, but it's not just that. Like the NFT is going to grant you a lot more access to a lot more different things. And it's also the only way to get this limited edition version of it. It's not like you can just go buy it somewhere else. So yeah. And it's a ton of work went into it. So
yeah,
it's going to be,
it looks amazing.
It's going to be really fun to check it out.
Yeah, I'm excited to show Kevin our third co-host of the podcast. And actually, so we Kevin and I are actually filmmakers. We've been filmmakers for about 15 years. So we have a deep background in animation and visual effects, and it looks amazing. It looks really good. Yeah.
Kevin's he's gonna freak out about this. Yeah, maybe we'll do a live stream going through the comic and showing it off. That'd be really cool.
That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, nice. Kevin's also expressed his anger and frustration with Unity. With me.
Yeah, and they're backpedaling and they're like, "We're sorry."
That's what he told me.
We fired this guy. And you're like, "Yeah." My worry is like, Unreal is like, I think what like maybe they were being greedy. I'm worried that they were like, we're not making enough money to like keep up with Unreal, so we need to like make more money to keep up with Unreal. And now like they're like, well, we screwed that up, so now we're really not going to keep up with Unreal. Because Unreal is just killing it. They're doing so much great stuff. And so
impressive.
And so many people are building on it. Yeah. It just seems like where things are going.
That's what you need. So yeah, it's like I have a feeling that I'm going to be migrating to Unreal at some point.
And the problem is too, the trust is gone too, It's like yeah. But either way, the comic's awesome.
It's still gonna work, even though Unity is a jerk. It'll still work fine. App's already up. You can get it right now. Yeah, so
that's great.
Sweet. And plus the app is free, so I don't really fall into their thing. Like I'm not going to make money on the app. I make money off of selling the physical book, so that's good.
Makes sense. Yeah. Before we sign off here, wanted to announce the giveaway that we're going to be collaborating on together. So we're going to be launching it shortly after this stream on our Twitter account. But we are partnering with End of the World Pizza and Rob to give away an issue of the comic book. Right. So very, very exciting. So make sure that you jump onto our Twitter account and look out later today for that Twitter giveaway so that you get your hands on this awesome comic and you can play around with it.
Yep.
Heck yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, before we sign off, Rob, is there anything else that you wanted to share related to the comic or anything else you got going on?
I mean, I think we pretty much covered it. A lot of stuff's happening on Friday. There's the comic launch, the metaverse, and the AR shop. So if you want to learn more, just go to endoftheworldpizza.com, or you can even just Google End of the World Pizza. Will be the top search result. It's the best way to learn more about the project.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Rob, this has been so great having you on. It's been so awesome to learn about your project, to learn about your background, and love to meet another fellow Philly guy,
Yeah.
Always great. We'll have to link up next time I'm in the area.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, everybody, please follow End of the World Pizza at The End Is Pie and follow Rob. He's at Dead Neons. We have both of their Twitters in the description below. So give them a follow and make sure to show up on Friday for their mint. Very, very
Thanks,
exciting.
guys.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to sign off. Thanks so much, everyone. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks,
Later.
Rob.
Bye.